Hello everyone and welcome to today's video. Today I'm doing a quick 2026 governor sort of prediction scenario video where I'm going off the 2024 and 2022 recent election results and giving the state each rating for how it is right now. This isn't my official prediction, this is more of just a scenario looking at how the map would turn out. So for instance, the state of Oregon, we could look at the 2024 election where Kamala Harris beat Donald Trump by 14 points in the state. We can also look at the predictions for 2026. When we go down to the state of Oregon, it currently says that it's solid Democrat and likely Democrat for the Democratic incumbent Tina Kotek. Right now, I'd start Oregon out as likely Democratic. California, one of the most Democratic states in all of the United States, voted for Kamala Harris by about 20 points in 2024. On the governor's side of things, California with Gavin Newsom, it's all solid Democrat across the board. It was, looking at the elections, about a safe Democratic win last time around. California, no surprise, safe Democratic. Hawaii going to be safe Democrat as well, won by 23 points by Kamala Harris in 2024. Alaska, Trump won it by 13 points in 2024. The rankings for Alaska currently have the Republican governor, Mike Dunleavy, who is term limited. Two rankings have it solid. Sabato has it as likely. Rumors, Mary Peltola could be running for this race. We're going to have to wait and see how that all plays out. For now, I'd put it as likely Republican. The state of Idaho, this one's going to be safe Republican. Donald Trump won the state by 36 points in 2024. It's one of the most Republican states in all of the United States. And when you look at the rankings for Idaho, no surprise, Republican Brad Little, solid Republican rankings across the board. The state of Wyoming, neighboring right next to the state of Idaho, Wyoming, this is the Republican term-limited governor, Mark Gordon. Still solid Republican rankings across the board. Trump won the state in 2024 by about 46 points, probably the most Republican state in the country. Wyoming going to be a safe Republican win. The state of South Dakota now, we're going to just move. Actually, no, before we get to South Dakota, we're going to go through these states in the Southwest first. We're going to go to the state of Nevada. Nevada, one of the closest states in the country in 2024, voted for Donald Trump by just 3.1%. For this one, I'm going to look at the 2022 results, where Joe Lombardo defeated the Democrat Steve Sisolak by 1.5%, a very, very close race to unseat the Democratic incumbent governor. Now we're going to look at Nevada in the rankings. 2 out of the 3 have it listed as toss-up. Battleground, Sabato has it lean Republican. Based off the results and the early rankings, it would put Nevada in between being tilt Republican and lean Republican. We're going to put it in lean Republican in this video. The state of Arizona, this is going to be very fascinating because in 2022, Katie Hobbs won by 0.67% against the Republican Kari Lake. For president, it voted for Donald Trump by 5.5%. That is a likely Republican win. For the current governor's race, Katie Hobbs, currently a toss-up or battleground across the board, as close as it could be. I would have no problem leaving this one as a pure toss-up and not making a rating on it. But quite frankly, that's not why you're watching this video. You want predictions on this race. So based on the results and the closeness of the last election, it would put Arizona into the under 1% tilt Republican column. Based on the fact that she won it in the tilt column, the predictions are battlegrounds. Trump won it by likely. You could argue for either tilt or lean Republican, but based on 1 out of the 3 going the Republicans' way, I would put it as tilt Republican. The state of Colorado, this state voted for Kamala Harris by about 11 points in 2024. The governor's race, this is Jared Polis. He is term limited. He won by a pretty solid margin last time. It's all listed as solid Democrat this time around. Fully expect Colorado to be a safe Democratic win. The state of New Mexico, however, only a 6-point win for Kamala Harris in 2024. The potential for this state to be competitive. New Mexico, this is our incumbent Michelle Lujan Grisham. She is term limited, cannot run again. 2 out of the 3 rankings have the state likely Democrat. 1 has it as battleground. Could put it as lean Democrat, but with the presidential race being likely, I'm going to put New Mexico in likely Democratic at this moment in time. Now we'll finally go to South Dakota, where Donald Trump won the state by 29 points in 2024. The governor's race in South Dakota, Larry Roden won by a solid Republican margin. Fully expect it will go solid Republican once again. The state of Nebraska went for the presidential level by 20 points for Donald Trump. Nebraska, this is Republican Jim Pillen. Solid Republican margins last time around as well. Predictions are all solid. Once again, I expect Nebraska will be solid Republican. Kansas is very fascinating because in 2024, Donald Trump won the state by 16 points. But the governor's race in 2022, the Democrat Laura Kelly won re-election in a very close race by 2.2% as governor of Kansas, but she is term limited and cannot be running again. And it is currently right now listed as a lean Republican flip by Sabato. Inside Elections has it as a battleground. The results from the last election were safe Republican, but splitting the difference here, I'm going to put it in a lean Republican column because I feel like the battleground and the safe Republican win kind of rule each other out there, putting Kansas as lean Republican for now. If you want to argue Kansas belongs in likely Republican, I could certainly understand that point as well. Oklahoma is going to be safe Republican. It voted for Donald Trump by 34 points. The Republican incumbent, Kevin Stitt, is term limited. All the rankings have it solid Republican at this time. Looking now, next on our map, we'll look at the state of Texas. Texas voted for Donald Trump by 13.7% in 2024. The governor's race, this is a Republican, Greg Abbott. He's eligible to run again. All solid Republican across the board. He got 54.76% last time around. My own personal rankings, I'd probably started out as likely Republican, but based on the results and predictions, Texas starts out as safe Republican. The state of Arkansas, with Sarah Huckabee Sanders, daughter of Mike Huckabee, served as President Trump's second press secretary in the White House. Trump won the state by 30 points in 2024, and she is running again without much surprise, going to be a safe Republican victory. Now we're going to go up north to the state of Iowa. Iowa, this is one that actually could get very, very close. It was a 13-point win for Trump in 2024, but the governor's races in Iowa have been a little bit closer. 2022, Kim Reynolds won by 18.5%, but in 2018, she only won by 2.7%, and she's leaving office with relatively low approval ratings. The reason this race is fascinating is the candidate running in Iowa is the Democrat Rob Sand, who is going to make this race more competitive than a typical Democrat usually would. The rankings are all over the place for this one. Lean R for the Republicans from Cook Politico, Battleground from Inside Elections, likely Republican from Sabato, and we also have the likely Republican win from last time. It's right around lean, right around likely for Iowa. I'm going to narrowly put it in lean for right now with Rob Sand, but this is one that certainly is going to be a very close one and one to watch. Minnesota, this is going to be Democratic incumbent Tim Walz, the running mate from 2024 with Kamala Harris. It was a lean Democratic win in 2024. As for the governor's race, Tim Walz in Minnesota is eligible to run again. Has not yet stated if he will do so or not. 2 out of the 3 predictions have it likely Democrat. I'm going to put, and one of them has it as safe Democrat. I'm going to put Minnesota in the likely Democratic category. For now, fully expect Tim Walz will win re-election. The state of Wisconsin, neighboring state, very narrowly voted for Donald Trump by 0.86%. In 2024, this was one of the closest governor's races in 2022, where Tony Evers defeated the Republican Tim Michels by 3.4% in a very close race. As for 2026, Wisconsin, Evers, he's eligible to run for re-election. He has not yet stated if he will be doing so, but 2 out of the 3 predictions are toss-up battleground. 1 is lean Democrat. Trump won it in tilt Republican in 2024. This race cannot get really any closer. For now, I'm going to put it in the tilt Democratic column, though certainly in my own predictions, I'd probably have it tilt Democrat or lean Democrat for right now, but Wisconsin is going to be likely very, very close. The state of Illinois voted in the 2024 presidential election by 11 points for Kamala Harris, the governor's race right now. This is going to be Democrat J.B. Pritzker, solid Democratic ranking across the board. Fully expect it will be a safe Democratic win. The state of Tennessee, the Republican state, Republican Senator Marsha Blackburn's expressed interest at running for this state, voted for Trump by 30 points in 2024. Fully expect Tennessee will be a safe Republican state where Bill Lee, the governor, is retiring due to term limits. Now we're going to look at the next state, which is going to be the state of Alabama. Again, Republican Senator Tommy Tuberville is now looking at running for this state, a 30-point win in 2024. Tuberville in Alabama, solid Republican state, going to go red. Now we're going to look next door to the state of Georgia. Georgia, this could be, actually before we do Georgia, let's do Florida. Florida, this is Ron DeSantis, he's retiring. This is going to be a very, very close race due to the fact that Byron Donalds is running to replace DeSantis. Some rumors, Casey DeSantis might be running for governor, Ron DeSantis' wife as well. Trump won it by 13 points in 2024. The governor rankings for this one, Florida, solid Republican across the board, though. So I'm going to be putting it as solid Republican, but this could be a very, very close race. Now we have the state of Georgia. Georgia is going to be really close. Trump won it by 2.2% in 2024. Brian Kemp did win re-election in 2022 by 7.5%. Ended up being a likely Republican win. But for this race, for 2026, Brian Kemp's retiring. It'll be an open race. Right now, 2 out of the 3 predictions have it as toss-up or battleground. one has it lean Republican. Trump won it by a lean Republican in 2024. I'm going to be starting Georgia out, though, as tilt Republican at this time. It's going to be very, very close. South Carolina, this is going to be a safe Republican win after Trump won it by 18 points in 2024. We did see South Carolina, the rankings, with Henry McMaster being term limited, all solid Republican at this time. So right now, Republicans have 17 governor seats, Democrats have 8. We're moving into more of the Midwest at this time. We're going to go first with the state of Michigan. Michigan voted for Donald Trump in a very close margin, 1.4%. In 2024, a very close race. Michigan, this is retiring Democratic Governor Gretchen Whitmer. It is a toss-up across the board, toss-up, battleground, toss-up in this race. It's going to be very, very close. The Republicans have John James, the Republican running. Independent Mayor Mike Duggan is running as well as several other Democrats running as well. This one's going to be a complete nail-biter. The recent presidential history suggests it will be a presidential win. The recent governor history, however, suggests it'll be a Democratic win, with Gretchen Whitmer winning by 10 points in 2022 and winning by about 10 points in 2018. So this race is going to be one of the closest in the country. This might even be the closest race in the country. Right now, I'm splitting the difference and starting Michigan out as tilt Democrat, but this one's going to be super close. Ohio, it voted in 2024 for president for Donald Trump by about 11 points. As for the governor's race, it was a big win last time around for the Republican Mike DeWine. This time around, though, it's going to be an open race. Vivek Ramaswamy is running for this race. He's likely to be the Republican nominee against either Sherrod Brown, Tim Ryan, or Amy Acton on the Democratic side. 2 out of the 3 rankings have it as likely Republican. Trump won it by likely Republican. I have Ohio starting out right now as likely Republican. If Sherrod Brown does run, that could certainly change things. The state of Maryland, with Democratic Governor Wes Moore, it voted for Kamala Harris by about 28 points in 2024. Wes Moore won Maryland in a solid ranking last time around. Maryland is going to be won by Moore again in the solid Democratic margin. The only reason this could get even remotely competitive is if former Republican Governor Larry Hogan runs again, and even then he might get it under 15 points, but I don't think it's going to be all that competitive. Pennsylvania is an interesting one where President Trump just won the state by 1.7% in 2024, but Josh Shapiro, the Democratic governor, won in 2022 against Republican Doug Mastriano by about 14.8%, just barely under a safe Democratic margin. And for 2026, Pennsylvania, Josh Shapiro is running again. He's eligible to do so. 2 out of the 3 rankings have it as likely Democratic. Trump did just win it as lean Republican, but I am putting Pennsylvania in the likely Democratic category. Josh Shapiro, I fully expect to win re-election in a large margin. Now the state of New York, where there's the potential this one could get close. Harris defeated Trump here by 12.6%. That is likely Democratic. In 2026, however, New York, with Democrat Kathy Hochul, she is running again. 2 rankings have it likely Democrat. 1 has it as a battleground. After we saw in 2022, where Hochul won the state by only 6.4%, a likely Democratic win, very close. I'm going to put New York in the likely Democratic category for now. Now all we have left is New England, and let's get into this with the state of Connecticut, where Connecticut in the presidential race voted for Harris by 14.5%. As for the governor's race, Ned Lamont, the Democratic governor, could run again. He could not. Right now, it's solid Democrat either way, though. We're going to put Connecticut into the safe Democratic category. Now we have the state of Rhode Island. It voted for Harris by 13.8% in 2024. Rhode Island, this is Democratic incumbent governor Dan McKee. 2 rankings solid Democrat, 1 ranking as likely Democrat. That could be something interesting to watch. But again, fully expect Rhode Island starts out solid Democrat. Massachusetts, one of the most Democratic states at the presidential level, voted for Kamala Harris by 25.2%. This is Democratic incumbent governor Maura Healey. She's eligible to run for a second term, and she is doing so. Solid Democratic rankings across the board. Massachusetts, a safe Democratic state. Vermont, this is very interesting because Vermont is a safe Democratic state. Kamala Harris won it by 31.5% in 2024, but the Republican governor, Phil Scott, won in 2024 by 51%. Vermont elects their governors like New Hampshire every 2 years. And as for the governor's race at this time, Vermont, it's Phil Scott. If he is running, which I believe he's not officially ruled, he is, but he is not ruled out either. If he runs, it'll be a safe Republican win. If he does not, it'll be a safe Democratic win. Right now, it's a safe Republican win because he is running again, probably. Now for the state of New Hampshire, where Kelly Ayotte just won. 2024, Kamala Harris won the state by 2.8%, a lean Democratic margin in 2024. Ayotte won the governor's race by 9.3%, a likely Republican margin in 2024. As for the governor's race, New Hampshire currently Ayotte, likely Republican, solid Republican, likely Republican for Cook, IE, and Sabato. Could potentially be competitive. I don't think it's going to be that competitive, though. Ayotte puts it in the likely Republican category. Now all we have left is the state of Maine, which voted statewide for Kamala Harris in 2024 by about 7 points over Donald Trump, a likely Democratic win. On the governor's side of things, it's going to be Janet Mills, the Democratic governor. She is term limited. Also worth noting, the Cook PVI for this state is Democrat +4. 2 out of the 3 rankings have it likely Democrat. 1 has it as battleground. 2024 being a likely Democratic win also puts Maine in the likely Democratic category. So just using the 2024 and 2022 election results and the predictions currently made on Wikipedia from Cook Politico, Inside Elections, and Sabato Crystal Ball, 3 highly respected political predictor websites and forecasters, this puts the Republicans at 20 governor's races, Democrats at 16, with several key close races in Nevada, Arizona, Kansas, Iowa, Georgia, Wisconsin, and Michigan. All very, very close. I hope you enjoyed this video. Make sure to hit like and subscribe if you did. Leave a comment below, tell me your thoughts, and I hope to see you in a future video.